it's Reagan and welcome to my Spooktacular October TBR, and this video is sponsored in part by Disney Book Group. Oh, October, how I love you so, especially since moving to the northeast, because the leaves are gonna start changing, it's gonna start getting cooler. Clay and I have some really fun fall-related activities planned, and it just provides the most amazing ambiance for reading. So I would say my TBR is pretty bolstered with some great atmospheric choices. Some of them are very long, but I have a lot of faith in myself, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. The first book I'm going to chat about, I'm so excited to show off, and that is The Trials of Apollo, The Tyrant's Tomb, and this is book 4 to the Apollo series. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you'll know 1, I love Rick Riordan and I've read all of his books, and 2, I have been especially loving this series recently and have been reading it basically as soon as they come out. This is a hilarious extension series set in the Percy Jackson universe. Essentially, it follows our main character Apollo, and in the first novel he's essentially cast out of Olympus for angering his father Zeus, and he loses all of his godly powers and is basically turned into a preteen teenage boy covered in pimples and has basically no access to his godly abilities. He's also sent on a quest to basically save the world, and along the way he of course gathers some unlikely sidekicks who you love and unbelievably try to boss him around, and it's so great because while Apollo might have lost like his powers, he's not lost his arrogance or his belief that he should just have people do things for him, and it's just so funny. You also encounter so many fan faves from previous books in this series, so that's always really great to see as well. All in all though, I'm obsessed with this series. I'm so excited to have book 4 in hand. It's full of mystery and adventure and humor and lovable characters. It really has all the things we love about Rick Riordan, so pumped to have this in my possession, and we'll definitely be trying to read this month for sure. Next book on my TBR is a book I'm currently reading, and that is The Lies of Locke Lamora. I am over halfway done with this book. It's my current commute book. And this is just another book I am just loving so much. This is a reread for me, but it's a night and day experience. The first time around I did not love it, but the second time around, this time around, I'm loving it so much. It's full of the best maneuvering, so much humor. We basically follow our main character Locke Lamora, who is a very good thief, and he runs with this band of brothers, and they are constantly tricking nobles out of their coin in the most creative of ways. You follow Locke as he's kind of trying to execute one of his bigger heists, like as an adult, but you also follow him as a child as he's kind of indoctrinated into this thief society, and as he kind of meets a lot of the characters along the way. This book is laugh out loud funny, so clever and entertaining, and I love the kind of parallel timelines of seeing Locke as a child and as an adult. There's also a larger scheme going on of some sort of like over person trying to like take control and the power of all the gangs in the area. I obviously am only halfway through, so I'm not quite sure how that's developing yet, but I am just loving this first novel so much, and I'm really excited to read the rest of the series, as I'm sure I will over the coming months. Next book on my list will be my next commute book. For how long, I'm not sure yet, and that is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. This is a book I mentioned in the video, my top books I want to read this fall, and that stands, and I'm gonna hold myself to that and definitely rent the ebook from the library to read this throughout the month of October. This book is gonna pair so wonderfully for the October season. It's set in like 19th century England, and there's magic and all sorts of atmosphere and ambiance. I honestly don't know too much about this novel at all, except that we follow 2 characters, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and I'm sure and hoping there is some sort of magical society that we get to see the ins and outs of. Again, I feel like this will be perfect for the train in the morning. I'm hoping to read this whole thing or a huge chunk of it this month, and if I don't finish it, I'll just carry it over into November, as I'll just be reading it on the train in the morning. That is a lot of sunlight, but I have high hopes for this novel. I'm hoping to love it, and I'm hoping to get a large chunk of the way through in this book this month. From there, I of course plan to read Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire Illustrated Edition. This is pre-ordered. I'm waiting for it to be sent to my house. This is a book I have been ceaselessly talking about all summer because I have been rereading the books in anticipation of the release of this illustrated edition. I can't believe how soon it is. I feel like I've been waiting for this book for years, and it's just right around the corner, so obviously thrilled. And again, I've just been loving my reread of Harry Potter. It's so magical, perfect for the fall atmosphere and weather, so excited to read the 4th book, and then obviously the 5th, 6th, and 7th, and also hopefully watch some of the Harry Potter movies along the way. But yeah, I'm so pumped about this. So obviously this will be one of the first books I read this month. From there, I hope to pick up this perfect new release, and that is The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. This is a dark, paranormal, vampire fantasy story. I feel like obviously vampires were very trendy back during a certain time period in all of our lives, but they kind of fell off for a bit, and I'm really hoping this is the novel where they're making their triumphant return, because I cannot wait for this. I've already heard really strong early buzz about this story, so I'm hoping I'm gonna fall headfirst and really love it and find it super entertaining. This is basically set in like the 1800s in New Orleans, and we follow our main character who's left her old life behind and is trying to settle in this vibrant, busy city, and I think she finds herself in the middle of a vampire coven. Ayy, I cannot wait. I hope it's great. I hope it's like Vampire Diaries realness, but like even better. Plus, I know Renee's writing is beautiful, so I am pumped for this. And the last book on my very lofty TBR is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. This is another book that's on my top books I want to read this fall. It is a mystery whodunit style story, and it just sounds super intriguing and perfect again for the season. I love mysteries, especially ones that are a little more like old school in setup and style. I'm usually kind of a bit of a chicken, but kind of like a more Agatha Christie style story is one that I do really enjoy. But the blurb of this is what sold me, so I'll read it to you. It says, "The rules of Blackheath. Evelyn Hardcastle will be murdered at 11 p.m. There are 8 days and 8 witnesses for you to inhabit. We will only let you escape once. You tell us the name of the killer, understood? Now let's begin." It just sounds so intriguing, and I feel like this might have a really interesting POV and like writing style, so pumped to pick this up and to jump into this hopefully this month as well. Alrighty guys, those are all of the books I hope to read this October. Let me know down below some books you hope to get to this month, as I would love to know, and I'll see you guys soon with another video soon. Goodbye!